Hi, my name is Joe Groch, and I'm here today to narrate for you a presentation that was given by Gordon Lewis to a town hall meeting of members about the golf course restoration project. But before I go through that, I want to give you some background as to why we're even discussing this. First, as many of you may know, we have an irrigation problem here at the Glades. The irrigation system that we have here is over 40 years old. It is the original irrigation system. It's breaking down a lot. It's causing us a lot of maintenance repairs. It is inefficient, wasteful, and as such we lose a lot of water and spend a lot of money on a very outdated system. Secondly, we have a problem with invasive grasses on the golf course. The paspalum grass has been invaded by Bermuda grass, and it's causing some real difficulties in terms of playability and the way that it looks, and also the maintenance involved with that. So we end up spending a lot of money on removal of invasive grasses, and that can be wasteful because not only do we spend money on trying to get rid of these grasses, but we're not really getting a good product for our money. So given the fact that we have an irrigation project which will require us to rip up the golf course, and we have an invasive grass problem, we see that there may be some possibilities to combine these projects in a way that kind of kills two birds with one stone. But in addition to that, we've also seen in a lot of our recent surveys a growing amount of member dissatisfaction with the quality of the golf course, mostly due to the invasive grass problem. So the board of directors, because of all of this, has directed the golf committee to investigate alternatives to solving these problems. Enter Gordon Lewis. Mr. Lewis is a golf course architect and has been for over 30 years. He's done more than 40 golf courses in the area and has renovated and restored over 300 golf courses in the region. One of the things that Mr. Lewis wanted to talk about before we even began going through the hole-by-hole description of what needs to be restored is that he wanted to just say a few general comments. One was that the greens will be a little bit bigger than the existing ones are, and that they're going to have a slope between 1.5 and 1.7 degrees in what we call the pinnable areas, or in other words, where you would put a hole location, so that you won't have any big curling 3-foot putts. Now the greens will be interesting, and they'll be terraced and ridged with swales in it, so you may have to contend with some up and downs and side hill lies when you're putting over 30 feet. In terms of the tees, Mr. Lewis suggested that our tees be bigger, which will help with our maintenance, and where possible be aligned with the center of the green or the fairway. This will lengthen the back tees where we can try to create as much variety in the length of holes so that you can use every club in the bag for each hole. The fairways will be wider and sloped, and of course they will be piped and drained to be much more efficient and effective in getting rid of the water on the fairways. In terms of the bunkers, we'll be strategically adjusting those bunkers, so you'll always have to think about where you want to play your next shot. They'll be built for ease of maintenance. Their location and size will be altered to provide easier access to the green to prevent wear patterns. The waste areas will also be used as cart paths, and they may be moved to speed up play and positioned to act as grass separators on the opposite side of the hole from the cart path, so that there'll be a kind of a separator between the condo yards and the golf course, creating a natural barrier that will prevent any invasive grasses from coming through. Most of the par 3s will have waste areas in front of the tees, but will be built back up towards the green. As you approach the green, there'll be an area for run-up, which will be grass. And then finally, the drainage will be considered throughout the entire project, and the goal will be to create a positive flow on the golf course, but it'll also be a positive flow away from the houses as well, so that there'll be a synergistic relationship between the drainage of the golf course and the condo yards. Okay, so let's get started with the hole-by-hole presentation as made by Mr. Gordon Lewis. If we look at hole number 1, what we'll find is that we will have more landing area as the bunker is to be removed and the mound pushed back and sideways. The greenside bunker will be placed against the new wall to create more room for the green and for ease of use and better maintenance. Hole number 2 will be surrounded by a large waste area, which will reduce our water usage, chemical usage, pesticide usage, and provide a much prettier landscape and more playability. Now, to provide more morning sunlight on number 2, we're going to elevate it and move it a little bit back and to the right. To make this possible, we're building a rock wall behind and to the right of the green. There will be a long, narrow bunker to catch errant shots. This will be a famous Redan green. Redan slopes from front to back, and this is a famous kind of old-style green, with a ridge 30 feet in the front of the green so that you can run shots up onto the green. The Redan will also help the grass, as the green will face the sunlight that we get from the south and the west. The cart path will be moved to the right on hole number 3. This will open up the fairway and save money, as the cart path will save on a plant bed grass separator, which would normally have to be put in this area. The low area in the fairway will be filled and piped, so you'll have the entire fairway to play in. The swale around the green will be moved and resloped, as this will facilitate drainage for the golf course and the homes surrounding the hole. The cart path will go around the green to speed up play. The bunkering has been changed slightly, with one bunker to the right and a small pot bunker to the left. Hole number 4 is probably the most innovative change Mr. Lewis is suggesting for the golf course in order to make it more playable. It now becomes a par 5, with all the tees moved back. This green will be a modern reverse Biarritz green. The original Biarritz green had a deep swale that cut through the green. Ours will be the opposite, with a plateau between the two lower green sections. The 3 bunkers will be located to further enhance this unique green setting. The traffic flow will be very similar to what it is right now, and may actually be better because it will remove people away from number 3 cart path and to the right. The fairway bunkering on hole number 5 has been altered so that it'll affect more golfers, and you'll have to think about where you want to place your tee shot before you hit your tee shot. The green will be shifted up the hill slightly and the bunkering moved to the right. And this will be our terrace hole, as it features a series of steps or terraces that lead up into the green. And as Mr. Lewis said jokingly, purely for your enjoyment. Now, if possible, we're going to try to open up the landing area on hole number 6 in the teeing landing area. The wall at the green is being extended and the green moved back some. The bunkering along the wall will be with little pot bunkers to the right, and a cart path will be extended all the way to the green on the left. Hole number 7 is very similar to the existing hole, except for the 2 catch bunkers, both left and right. Guess what, says Mr. Lewis? A green with no bunkers. That's what you're going to find on hole number 8. Hole number 9 is very similar to the existing one, just some slight bunker changes. Just after the tees on hole number 10, the new waste area will feed into 2 cart paths so that the women can go directly to their tee. The cart path behind the green is moved to the north of number 11 so we can speed up play and make the green a little bit bigger. The bunker stays exactly the same. The green on hole number 11 will be moved back a little with a catch bunker on the left and a small pot bunker on the right. Hole number 12 will have a catch bunker to the right and a small bunker to the left. The cart path will be moved to the right on hole number 13 up by the green, and the 2 front left bunkers will be removed to open up the left and front. There will be bunkering on the front right and 1 back left for framing and setting to give you a depth perception. This will be a redan green with a ridge out in front so you can bounce balls onto the green, and 2 grass bunkers will be in the back to act as catches for those that are going to be daring with their shots into the green. The right bunker on number 14 is very similar to the existing, but there will be only 1 small bunker left to facilitate the green walk-up area. Again, as on hole number 5, a little more strategy involved on your tee shot here on hole number 15. Instead of facing just 1 bunker, you'll now have to contend with 2 bunkers, with each being very different distances off the tee. Again, trying to affect everyone and to get you to use your noggin off the tee shot. The 2 left bunkers on the green will now become 1 bunker. Now, on hole number 16, Bill Hinn is changing the areca palms to podocarpus to give us more room for the green. The left bunker just moves with the new hedge, and the new devilish pot bunker will force you to hit plenty of club to the green. The new pot bunker is patterned after the famous Devil's Asshole from Pine Valley. The cart path on hole number 17 will move to the left side with a distance aiming bunker in the first landing area. The green is moved slightly back with a catch bunker to the right. Hole number 18 will be a great finishing hole with a small pot bunker to the left and a large right bunker. And the character building 3 terrace green will have you, as Mr. Lewis said, cussing at me. And he said, no, it won't be that bad. The front and middle will be low terraced and will give you something to throw your shot into as like kind of a backstop, which will be about halfway up the green. And that little backstop will bisect a medium plateau, and the highest terrace will actually be like a championship pin location. So that's it for the golf course. We have a couple other little things to go over with you, and let's take a look. Here is some changes that have been made to the practice area. One of the things that has happened is that the bunker has been moved to the back side of the green, which means golfers that are practicing their bunker shots will hit away from the condos and not towards the condos. And finally, what Mr. Lewis is proposing is that we place a practice putting green on hole number 1 by the starter station so that people can warm up before they go out and tee off on hole number 1. Well, that concludes the architectural renderings of the golf course in accordance with Mr. Lewis's plan. One of the questions that he also addressed during his proposal was, of course, the cost of this project. Now, based on his preliminary bids, which he's talked to 3 construction companies, it appears that the Pines construction cost will be between $1.7 and $2 million. And the irrigation project with the pumps will run between $1.35 to $1.5 million. The Palmetto construction costs will be between $240,000 to $410,000, with irrigation between $170,000 to $200,000. Now, in addition to that, he plans on spending about $150,000 to $200,000 on landscape with a 5 to 10% contingency. This will bring the total project cost to between $3.6 and $4.6 million. Now, at this point, if you have any questions or issues related to this presentation, please feel free to get in touch with Bill Hinn, myself, Joe Groch, or Audie Berger, which is our management team, and we'll be happy to discuss that with you. Thank you again for listening, and we sure hope you have a great day. And please don't hesitate to express your opinions about this project to your director. Thanks again, and have a great day.